life, sex, goals, and oh, hell knows, this is Midlife Craving. I never do this, but I'm going to go ahead and give you a little warning. This episode is hot. If it were rated on that, what's it called? Scoville scale, it would be right up there with capsaicin, okay? Krystina is back, and we are discussing our hottest fantasies and sharing it all on a scorching segment of Just the Tip. Are you ready, Cravers? But first, it is time for my 5-minute orgasm where I unload the latest in my life, and I'm going to kick things off by talking about my struggles in dating and trying to find a primary partner. I guess I should admit, I'm not really out here trying too hard because, God, I don't really have the energy for that. And I haven't been putting in all of the effort that I should. But, I'm open and I'm out there and I'm definitely not shooting down any opportunities should one arise. So number one, I know I'm shopping in the dented can aisle, but there are simply too many freaks and not enough circuses. And I realize, yes, I am a freak myself and I'm trying to find balance, and I know I'm towing that line of quote unquote normal. I mean, I want it all. I want the guy that has his priorities straight, someone that's healthy and healed and has his shit together, but also a filthy fucking animal behind closed doors. And that's a really tough combination to find. I'm learning that. It's kind of like that, that hot to crazy scale ratio. I'm sure you've seen that YouTube video before, which I'm going to go ahead and consider myself that unicorn. But I'm looking for normal and put together, but also freaky. You know what I'm saying? Not to mention, I know I'm a lot, okay? There's vanilla, which I can't do. Rainbow sherbet, rocky road, and then what's called the kitchen sink. And yeah, that's what I feel like I am. And I want that in someone else. I like and I want it all. I'm refusing to give up what I'm enjoying right now. My dom, the lifestyle, and I'm learning that this is really tough to navigate. So I met a really hot guy on Field. Now that I'm talking about it, I actually deleted Field last week. I don't know. I go through these ups and downs where I'm just like, ugh. I don't know. First of all, I feel like no one really meets on these apps. So I'm kind of done doing the whole first date thing. I'm not falling for that. Let's meet this night and then the day of they cancel or something. I don't know. See, here we go again. I don't have the energy for this shit. But back to the hot guy on Field. And I know I'm going to re-download that app later this month, but so, like I said, I decided I'm done doing these first dates. And I told him, I said, hey, you want to meet up? I'm going to be at my favorite dive bar on Friday night. Feel free to come by. Which, by the way, I know that takes a ton of confidence in him. And I was excited when he said, sure. So it was funny. We were at the bar. All my friends are there, by the way. Like, that's very intimidating. Kudos to him for doing this. But I had showed everyone his picture. We were all like taking bets. We're like, is it going to be him? Is it going to be him? And I remember the door swung open and he walked in, and it's like everybody was getting in on it. And a complete stranger goes, that's your guy. It was kind of funny, but imagine, like, that's a lot to walk into, and he was exactly who he said he was. And he was really fucking sexy and hot, and he was great. He was nice and so easy to talk to. My friends liked him and he fit right in. And again, that is so awesome of him to even throw himself into all that, He drove me home and I gave him a little tour of my house. This is when things start to get interesting. And, I'm full on Hurricane Adrian, and I'm like, here's where the sex swing goes. And over here is the milking table. And I could just start to sense, I could smell the intimidation. You know what I mean? And I remember even thinking like, God damn it, Adrian, too much, too soon, We had great conversation and we shared a really nice, great kiss goodnight. But when he left, I knew I would never hear from him again. And I knew that I wouldn't be reaching out to him either. It had nothing to do with his looks or who he was as a person, but I could just tell we were on different levels as far as mostly me, okay? Like me and how outgoing, how wild I am and how I like it. I could just tell. I knew, like I said, I could smell the fear. I could smell the intimidation. I'm in such a tough spot right now. So, because I don't plan to change who I am as a person, and I know that I'm not for everyone, and that's totally okay. But I do think I got to like hone this in a little bit. I think from now on, I am going to wait a little bit on the kinky stuff. I need to wait to tell them about the sex swing until like maybe date 2. And then maybe talk to them about the lifestyle date 5 or I don't know. I'm trying to find balance out here. I also want to mention, I'm not out here just fucking to fuck. I go a while without having sex sometimes, and that's okay. That's another thing. I get a ton of DMs and people asking me, who'd you fuck this weekend and how many times have you had sex this week? And I'm like, bro, I haven't had sex in like 3 weeks, okay? And yes, I wish I was having more, but I don't want to fuck just anyone. I'm definitely picky, and I'm not expending that energy unless I'm really all about it. This is my struggle right now. But you know what? I'm sharing it all. I'm keeping it real. And this is real shit, real life right now. So do me a favor, Cravers. Give me all the good vibes out there, battery operated ones included. I also want to share 2 products that I've been getting asked a lot about online. First is a daily probiotic that my doctor has recommended. And I know I swear by it now. I'm going to talk later about it with Krystina in this episode. It is by Azo. That's AZO. It's their daily probiotics for balanced health down there. And I swear it just keeps everything balanced, under control. So, no BV, yeast infections, and I'm really loving it. Speaking of BV, that's the other product I want to recommend because if you don't take a daily probiotic, it will clear that shit up overnight. It's a boric acid suppository by PhD. It's like PH-D, and it works wonders. I actually had some issues with BV earlier this spring. I did have multiple partners, and it worked like a charm. All right, I got a pro tip for you. When I insert it, I like to push out a little bit and then place the pill, and then when I let go, it kind of sucks it all back up there. That makes sense. I do the same thing with my menstrual cups. All my ladies out there, if you know what I'm talking about. But, you put the suppository in there, sleep with it overnight, and then you wake up and the BV is gone. Both of these items are going to be linked on my website, midlifecraving.com. And if you have any questions about them, feel free to hit me up over on my DMs on Instagram at midlifecraving. All right, no more waiting. Let's crank the heat up in this motherfucker. Here's part 2 with Krystina. Cravers, I am back with Krystina. We're here to talk about our fantasies, and then we're going to finish up with our favorite segment here, Just the Tip. So, Krystina, welcome back.
Hello, guys. I'm back.
I feel so bad for making them wait, but it's almost like I want them salivating.
Oh, and they are. They're definitely salivating.
Yes, for sure. So let's get right into it. It's so easy to talk hot shit with you. So let's talk about fantasies.
Yes.
All right. So how about we go 1 for 1 here? So you tell me one, then I'll tell you one.
Okay, perfect. My number 1 fantasy, which is something I've never had, is just me, like having a train ran on me by 2 guys. Now, I've had this with married couples, but never just the only woman. I just want to be, and it could be 3 guys. I don't even, you know what I mean? Gangbang. I don't care. Well, I think I just want to start with 2 guys, actually.
Okay.
So I actually have the 2 in mind. I think I want to.
Oh, well, that would be like an MFM, right?
Yeah. So it would be MFM. Now, I also have a fantasy for MMF, which we'll talk about in a minute. So 2 straight guys and just me. Now I have a fantasy for 2 bi guys and myself as well. So that's a whole, I'm into the bi guys. Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about this because I feel like bisexual men aren't as accepted in the lifestyle. Do you feel
They're
that way?
Not at all.
Okay.
100% they're not.
Yeah, and I don't shame, and I don't know, it's unique to me too. It's not something I've really talked about or thought about, but
yeah,
I will be honest with you, I watch porn like that.
Yeah, me too, and I fucking love it. I'm just like, I like dicks and holes and mouths, and I like it all,
So what kind of things would you want to see with your bi men? Threesome.
So with the bi men, I would just like to each be sucking his dick and a little asshole play with, I like to watch that. Like, and like, honestly, when I'm watching porn to this, what really makes me come is just seeing everybody's dick in someone's ass. So someone's dick in my ass, and then someone's dick in someone else's ass, and us three like a train with dicks and asses. Like, I know it's so fucking crazy and
Wow.
outlandish,
No,
but
it's
that
not.
is
I have a
a super,
visual.
and
So,
I've never had it, but I've always and I watch porn like that all the time. But yeah,
mm.
yeah,
I've watched some porn where, one guy's fucking a guy from behind and other guys
yeah,
getting his dick sucked by the guy. I've seen all kinds of different
yeah.
situations, but there is something to be
Oh yeah,
said for, by men, how you can really change
yeah.
things up.
Right. And
Yeah.
it's just exactly like I've done these bi threesomes with other women, just myself, another woman, and a man, and just flip flop it, like
Right.
two bi guys and just me. Now, that I do have a fantasy for two guys that aren't bi. Like, I don't want it all to be just bi guys, because I do want two straight guys just worshiping my body. You know what I mean? And just fucking,
Yes.
yeah. I want that. And like bukkake, I just got into this whole bukkake thing that I didn't know about. That was go. Let's have your fantasy, and then we'll talk about bukkake.
Mine's going to segue right into that, girl, because I'm a cum slut too. Okay.
Yeah.
So I have a friend that we both really want to do a gangbang. It's something I've always wanted to do.
Uh-huh.
Like, you watch those girls that are on a table and they have like 5 guys
Oh
around them.
yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
also a big fan of a cream pie. But
Yeah.
there's
Oh
so
yeah.
much orchestration that would have to go into this for me. And I've talked
Yeah.
about this with my friend. I mean, I would have to have, week before STD screening. I don't know, because I
Right.
don't feel like I would want to do it with condoms. And so
No,
it's
you
tricky
don't
for
want to.
me.
Right.
Right. And so
Exactly.
a gangbang is
Mhm.
actually on my list.
Mhm.
100%, but I want to do it with another woman. I don't want to be the only girl, because
Yeah.
I
Right.
love to
Hey, I'll
hear.
do it with you.
Okay. Yes, come on over. I like to hear and see other people having sex. I love the sounds.
Me too. And the
And
smells and all of it.
yes, and
Yeah.
I love to be able to touch
Mhm.
another female, I've found. I
Uh-huh.
love that.
Yep.
I love looking at another
Nice.
female and we're both getting fucked. I'm very into eye
Seriously.
contact. Yes. And it's just the
Me too.
sounds and like, I don't
Yes.
know. I don't know. I want to wipe cum, on my finger and have her lick it
Oh,
off my
yeah.
finger. There's just so many. So I
Oh,
do want
yeah.
to have a gangbang,
I've
but with
sucked
another
cum
woman.
out of a woman's pussy. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
what was
That's,
that like?
yeah. That was amazing. I've
Yeah.
done that quite a few times. Yeah.
Mm.
But those are the ones that you only do with, I preach about protection, and there are situations when you're not using it, but like you said, it's when you've gotten tested, you've all showed each other. But that is one of the hottest fucking things ever, sucking a man's cum out of some other bitch's pussy. Like, I just
Wow.
love it.
So I
Yeah.
agree. I'm a big fluid girl too. And the one thing I do love
Mm-hmm.
about the lifestyle is everyone is super serious about safe sex. And I
Oh,
know
yeah.
my friends, my crew, everybody's getting tested every quarter. I just got tested in
Oh, yeah.
April,
Same.
and I will again. I
Yep.
mean, I feel like that's definitely
Right.
a thing. But
Right.
I don't know. I guess for the gangbang, I would want it to be recent. I would want like the week before you're getting
Right.
a test.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's a lot, but to have that like
Yeah.
fluid exchange, oh, would be
Oh,
so
yeah.
hot. I mean,
It's hot.
I think I would want to have at least 2 guys come inside of me and then like take it
Mm-hmm.
out, lick it. Like I'm all about that
Oh,
shit.
yeah. Dude, me too. And I learned that just from the last guy that I was with, the ex that I'm just getting out of. Like, that would be our sexy talk. We would talk about that stuff, and like
Mhm.
having a cream pie inside of me. Then he comes in there. I mean, just thinking about it right now is making me hot. Like,
I'm
you know
not
what
gonna.
I mean? Like,
What's funny is I talked
yeah,
to when I was at the girls' weekend, I kind of gravitated towards the other girls that were cum sluts, and it was funny. I was
yes,
like, "We're the cum sluts, yay!"
yes,
Because a
we're
lot of
like each
people
other's
aren't into
people.
it. Yes,
They're not.
and one of
Oh
the
yeah.
things that she said, and I'm sure you've done this, and it's always been something that I've liked to do, but I've never spoken about it. So it is,
Uh-huh.
I like when he comes on my pussy, and then I'll use it as lube and like finish myself. I'm
Oh
into that.
yeah.
Like, I like to play
Oh
with it,
yeah.
and it's like, I don't know, it's just something. And
Seriously,
she
me
was like,
too.
I've never admitted this to someone, but I do that too.
Mhm.
I was
Oh
like,
no, all the time.
yes, yeah.
Like, all the time. I mean, we've even used that like that, and then used it for lube for anal. Right?
It
Yeah.
is, yeah.
But anyways, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's definitely, it turns me on, and I think that
Me
there's just
too.
an energy that comes with cum because if you're connected to like just energies in the earth and the world and everything, like there's an energy that comes with that cum. Like that's coming out of somebody that's feeling the most great fucking thing that they've ever fucking felt. And here you are just with it. Like, I don't know. I'm connected to that kind of shit. So, and I love watching men jack off and come over me.
Me
That's
too.
maybe why I have an OnlyFans page, but I love just watching a man jack off and come just while he's looking at me, you know?
I
So,
love sucking dick in a mirror and then having them
uh-huh.
watching him come all over my face. And then
Oh
I'll
yeah.
like
Me
take
that
my
yes.
finger and wipe it off my face and then into my mouth.
And put it in my mouth. Me too, bro. I'm famous
I
for
wash
that on
myself.
OnlyFans.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
that's what
Yes.
I do. Cause so I get to watch it on camera, and I'm like, I mean, I just masturbated to my own video the other night of someone doing that to me because my fucking internet was acting stupid. So I had to go in my phone and go in some old video, and I'm like, I just want to watch him come on my face again. Like it was so
Wow.
stupid, but yeah,
No, I'm into that.
yeah,
I love mirror play. I love that stuff for
yeah.
sure. Plus, I
Me
just look
too.
so, I feel like I look so pretty with a big cock in my mouth. I'm like, you look
Oh,
good,
who
girl.
doesn't? Right? Who
I
doesn't?
know.
Seriously.
Super hot. Oh, so okay, give me another one of yours. I've talked about my cum
Yes.
obsession.
Yes. So I mean, going back to that, that's one of my real like I didn't realize until recently that I had a bukkake fantasy. And honestly, and that's just like me being ran around like a fucking $3 hooker to a group of hot men just wanting to just whack it off while they each take turns fucking me.
Oh,
You know what I mean? Like
yes,
just there could be five of them, 10 of them, I don't care. Pass me around like a whore, please.
I know.
That's like
By the way, I know people are listening and they're judging so hard about this.
of
I know they're
course
judging
they
so hard,
are.
but that's one of the things. I mean, that to me would be so fucking hot. I would
Fuck
absolutely love that
yes.
too. Mm-hmm. I
Yeah, me
agree.
too. Yep.
It's funny though. I
So
think about the
yeah.
people that, are listening to this and they're probably like, that whore. And it's like, you're right. But,
Right,
but it's
exactly.
like,
Like,
what
yes,
kind of
girl,
porn
it's
are
just
you
because you're speaking
watching?
the truth.
Like, you're telling me you've never gotten off from
Exactly.
watching that before. Come on.
Right,
It's super hot.
exactly.
It is really fucking hot.
100 and
And
100%.
I don't know. I have seen the extreme of it. I'm not extreme bukkake kind of girl, but I'm
No,
definitely
me
like come
neither.
on
Me
my
neither.
yeah. Like like I don't
Right.
like
No,
the
I
eyes. Nothing in the eyes.
no,
Mm-mm.
exactly. And like you can come all on my stomach, my tits. You know, I just want to be fucked watching guys jack off and come watching
Mm.
other guys fuck me. Like,
Oh, and you know
you
what
know
the
what I mean?
hottest
Like,
part is, Christina? When they're like,
uh-huh.
I'm close, I'm close, I'm close. I'm like, come
Oh,
over
that's the
here.
best. Oh, that's the best. It really is.
I
When
know.
I'm in it and when I'm doing it and when I'm watching it. Like it's just
One of
yeah.
my favorite old school porn stars to watch is Cream Pie Kathy. Have you ever seen her?
Oh, I've never seen her.
Okay,
I'm gonna
so
have to look her up.
Google her, Cream Pie Kathy. She's filthy as fuck, and yeah, and she has this
Oh, I love
one
it.
where she literally just there with her legs spread open, and men are just dumping loads in her. It's out of control. It's
Oh, I
hot as
love
fuck.
it. Yeah, we're so fucked up, but I love it.
I don't
Okay.
care. Okay, so let me tell you
I
about
don't
something
either.
else that
Yeah.
I have a milking table, so I have done that before. That's
Uh-huh.
basically a horizontal glory hole, but I want to
Oh.
build a actual glory hole in my basement. So I have drywall and it's not going to be fancy,
Uh-huh.
but I want to actually put like
Right.
a slot for them to put like money in cuz I want to do the part, girl.
Oh, I
I'm going to be
love this.
behind the wall.
Dude,
You got to put some
I
money in
love
there.
this.
Benjamin's preferred.
Seriously. Right. For sure. Make it
And
only take 100.
right. We only accept Benjamins here. And then they have to
Mm.
like stick their dick in the hole. And then I'm
Oh
going, I mean,
yeah.
and then like, I love when you can
It's
bend
hot.
over and fuck it too. Like the big ones, like you're
Oh
like, oh, let me
yeah.
put, yes. So glory
Yeah.
hole is on my list. I'm going to make that shit happen.
Oh
I swear
yeah.
to God.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's I went to a swinger hotel takeover once where there was a glory hole. I didn't participate because my husband wasn't into that, like letting me do that, but fuck, I would have. Trust me, I would have if he was
Was it
down.
hot to
I would have.
watch?
Oh yeah. It was. It was. It
Wow.
was.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I want to do it. I
Yeah.
definitely want to do it. I have a perfect
Yeah.
spot for it too. I'm a planner.
I love this.
Yes, in my
Yes.
basement, I have my sex swing. I have a milking table. I'm actually building a
Oh,
bar in the back. I just cleared, my daughter's growing up and I got rid of all the toys. And I'm like, this basement is mine now. This is my zone. And
right.
so I
For
got a
real.
beautiful couch, artwork. I'm going to get a Liberator and like the
Oh, nice.
furniture or whatever and just make it so that when I have
Uh-huh.
friends over, I can be like, okay, let's head downstairs. And,
It's that,
you
oh,
know,
dude, I want to come over.
yes, hang some stuff up
We'll bring
and
about 10 guys.
yeah,
Yeah.
let it rip. But yeah,
Exactly.
I want my own space. You know, hanging out with the group that I do, they have an
Yep.
incredible room. I've seen some incredible things, and I'm like, I
Oh
want a little
yeah.
taste of that, you know?
For
So,
real, for real.
all
Yep.
right, so we talked about many different fantasies. Are there any more that you can think of that you're like dying to try? Those are my top 3 for sure.
I mean, that I've done, like some of these I have tried and they're still my fantasy and it's still something that gets me off. And honestly, I don't know if this is going to be really judged, but I love to like go out on nature walks and hikes and like, be doing things and have like, and now this, okay. So you have to be very careful. I would never want a child or anything like that, but I just always think about like, what if me and my man are out in the nature and I'm just sucking his dick and another single man just walks up and his dick just gets hard. He starts jacking off watching us. Like, it's a fantasy,
Yeah, it's a
you know.
fantasy. And listen, it's not like you're
Hmm.
reckless. I mean, you know what I mean? Like if
No,
and I'm all about
exactly.
public sex too, and I would never,
Right.
actually that's it's on my list is I
Never.
want a fucking dive bar bathroom that I love. But I'm not
Oh,
going
I
to be doing
love
something where
that.
there's a chance of like underagers or you
Right.
know what I mean? Like God, people just
Exactly.
assume the
Not at
very
all.
worst. You
They
don't even need to
do.
preface anything with that like that here because
Right.
no, if
Okay,
you're
good.
thinking that way,
Good.
you
Because,
shouldn't be
yeah,
listening to my show.
exactly.
You know?
100%. Yeah.
But
But
that does
yeah.
sound really hot. That sounds like a hot porn too. Like someone's gonna steal that idea. It's gonna be like a
Oh,
guy and a
yeah.
girl. She's sucking his dick
Oh,
or
yeah.
bent over, and he's like nailing her. And
Right.
some guy comes around the corner, and he's
Yeah.
like, he's like, can I put it in your mouth? And you're like, yes.
Right.
Which, by the
Exactly.
way, that's my favorite thing.
Exactly.
I like being fucked from
Hmm.
behind and having a cock in my mouth. It's the
Oh,
very
yeah. I
best.
love that
I
too.
think that's
I
probably
love it
my
too.
favorite recurring thing to do. Mm.
It really is. I can't wait till I can do that and be the only girl. Like I've done it so many times but have you ever done it where you're the only girl?
Yes, and it's the
Oh
fucking
God, I
best because I
can't wait. I'm
remember
so
I'm a
jealous.
unicorn. I'm single, so like
Yeah, exactly.
oh, God bless
I
Stone
can't
Cold is his
fucking
name.
wait.
He's the one. He was like, "I'm gonna make all your dreams come true." I was like, "Fuck yeah!"
Nice.
That
Well,
was
hey
at my
guys,
first
listen, I'm
party.
single now too, so hit me up.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
it's just, and what I love about it is that all the attention, and you said I think you're a bit of an
Right.
exhibitionist, and
Oh, very much.
it's all the attention's on you, all the focus is on you,
Exactly.
every hand is
Right.
on you, and
Right.
it's sensory overload. I can't imagine what it feels
Oh,
like
I
to be
can't wait.
airtight. I'm not the hugest fan of anal,
Oh
so
yeah.
for me, I'm working my
Right.
way into that. But I can't even
Right.
imagine what that's like. But
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, I just love all the attention. It's like that
Me.
Tupac
Yeah.
song, All Eyes on Me. It's the
Right.
best.
Exactly. For real.
It
For
is.
real.
Yes,
One
I
hundred
love me at
percent.
MFM. I'm dying to do that again. Well, and I will tell you
Oh
something that's
yeah.
tricky because have you played in the lifestyle as a single female yet?
No, I have not.
So I'll tell you some of the things. I'll give you a
Uh-huh.
recommendation. Number one, I feel like my
Yeah.
relationships with the women are key. It's paramount. I want
Oh,
them to know
100.
that they can trust me, that I
Yep.
have the utmost respect for them. I think that's huge
Right.
as a single woman. And then
Yep.
also it's really well, there can be great things like to this because I can jump in to a threesome and then make it and another female could have a chance to swap with someone that they normally wouldn't because let's say that their spouse isn't really into the female and then if they're separate play I can hop in and be that fourth. A friend and I were just
Right.
talking about this recently and yeah, it's that's kind of nice. You can make things like that happen as a unicorn, but
Right.
it's difficult to well I guess being bi is going to be a big positive for you, but it's hard for me to find
Yeah.
two men that can play alone. So my love for
Right.
MFM,
Oh, it is.
that is tough. And
Yeah.
also, I mean, and I could do same room, same whatever, but it's just it's different
Right.
when it's
It
basically a
is when the
foursome.
women are there.
Yes. Yes. So I was
Exactly. When
alone.
they're just,
Yep.
yep.
Mhm.
Yep. Yeah. Alone would be great.
It was. Oh,
Yeah.
it was. Oh my
Yeah.
God, it was. It was.
I can't wait. I bet. I
It
can't
was. It
wait.
was so hot. It really was. I think
I
about
know.
that
It's so,
situation often.
I bet. And it's so funny because I tell all my fans, whether on TikTok or on OnlyFans, I'm like, look, you guys have known I've wanted this for so long that I think I just have to record my first time, which there's something to be said about not recording sex. I love not recording sex, but it's my job and it's what I do. So you do have to record it. But like, I think I owe that to my fans because they've heard how obsessed I am with it. I was like, I have to find 2 other OnlyFans content creators that are willing to run a train on me. And so that way I can give that as a gift to my fans. I think they would love that. I
Yeah.
really do.
Uh,
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question because I don't know, for some reason this reminded me because on my show is definitely sex heavy. It's definitely a sex podcast, but my show is also about, living your authentic life and being sex positive and being confident in who you are and what you do. But I will say, it's funny because we were talking about recording sex and I need to record the sex. I was going to ask you a question because doing what I do on my show, which is like my job, and then when I have my breaks, Krystina, it is so nice not to share with the world every detail, everything I'm doing. And it's almost like I'm free for a little bit. So do you feel that pressure being an OnlyFans model, like you have to, so when you have sex without the cameras, it's got to be a different level now.
It's liberating. It's like when the cameras are there, you're constantly, and I have had very real orgasms, very real squirting sessions, but like you're still conscious in your head of your angle. And when the camera's out there, I don't give a fuck if my hair is sticking up. If you like, I like my face to be pushed down in the pillow and just fuck like a whore from behind. So I don't care that, my makeup is going to be running under my eyes because you have my head jammed into the pillow. Whereas on OnlyFans, it's like, now be very careful. Like, push it down, but don't fuck my makeup up because we're on camera still. You know what I mean?
I didn't think about that. I've never been on OnlyFans, but I didn't think about that because especially like with giving blowjobs, like I like my eyes to water. Like I like my makeup running. Like I like a sloppy blowjob.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. I like sloppy sex in general. Just fucking dirty, filthy, sloppy ass sex.
Yeah.
So it's nice when you don't have to film. And it's not that I don't love it because I do love what I do, but like you said, there's something to be said about just not having to like share your life, even when I get off TikTok, because TikTok obviously is, PG, I can't talk about, but I share other parts of my life on TikTok. And sometimes, it's just nice when I'm not having to worry about sharing every little detail, but at the same time, it's what we do and it's what we love, but it is nice when you get to not do that.
So how many, this is a general question because I'm just curious, how many times do you post a week on OnlyFans and like, what's that schedule like?
Yeah, so I do OnlyFans and Snapchat Premium. So I also have Snapchat Premium, which if your followers want to find that, they can email me. That's a whole nother level. So OnlyFans is like really twice a day you want to post on there and constantly be checking your messages. So I only post pictures on my wall, and then through the DMs, like I'll post nude pictures on my wall of like whatever it was that I want to sell through the DMs. So then through the DMs, you can find the whole video.
Got it.
So then people will say, oh, I'm into anal, or I'm into swinger stuff, or I just want to watch you masturbate, or some people want you to make them personalized videos. So, but as long as you're just constantly posting throughout the day to let people know that you're active and posting different content. Now Snapchat Premium, that's a whole different story. Like that's me sharing every part of my life from what I do in the morning, noon, night, sex, like that's a whole, it's a lot more expensive, but it's a whole different story. Yeah. So that's an all-day thing. Yeah.
Damn. So that's a lot of time being on. Can I be honest? Like even it is that's a lot. Like I hope that you make sure you take some breaks because that's a lot to be on.
That's what I've learned. Yep. It is. And that's what I've learned over the last, year and a half since I've really been into this is that it's so important to take those breaks. And like today, for example, I didn't post on my Snapchat until 1 p.m. Usually I post like right when I wake up and it's okay. I'm like, hey guys, sorry, I just want to have a quiet morning where my hair was sticking out to myself while I drank this coffee and you know what I mean? Like, so, but yeah, it's very important to take the time.
Yeah. I've been doing, 18 episodes, which is a lot because my episodes come out every other Tuesday. And then, so it's a long time. It's months. And then I take 6 weeks, you know what I mean? Because the breaks are really important. They are. For sure.
They are very important for sure.
Yes. Okay, so Krystina, on my show, one of the things that I love and what I'm famous for over on TikTok is my Just the Tip segment. I love giving tips in the bedroom, sex tips, stuff like that. So let's play Just the Tip.
Okay.
Are you good at that game? Have you ever played that game in real life?
I've never played it, but I think I'm good at everything that I do, so we should be good. Hey, and guys, that's not being conceited. That's just having self-love. Remember that.
Confidence,
self-love.
Not cocky.
Confidence,
no, it's funny because
exactly.
I suck at Just the Tip because every time he like says, "Oh, Just the Tip," I'm like, "Fuck me."
Oh, you mean actually Just the Tip?
Yes, okay, like actual, like,
I know.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I can come with just a tip, like just like rimming it. But I of course want it to be fucked too. I am one of those people that can come like 6, 7 times during sex.
I was just going to fucking ask you that. So I was talking with the
Yeah.
girls on the girls' weekend 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, however long it was now. And I was like, you know, I am a clit stimulated comer only. I cannot come from penetration. I haven't really tried in
Really?
yes, and it's frustrating, but I also feel like toys have ruined me. I've used
Oh,
toys.
they
I
do.
know. I've used toys for so
They do.
long, always, and I feel like
Yeah.
I can only come from clitoral stimulation. That's the only way.
Yep.
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 So you are
And
hashtag
that's
blessed because
oh
I'm
yeah.
envious over women
Well,
like you.
yeah. Well, it didn't start honestly until about 2 years ago. Because I was just a clit comer too. Well, I could come with penetration, but the squirting just really that was literally a new thing. But yeah, I
I've
don't
always been a
know. I
squirter.
don't
I
know.
can, yeah, I've always been that.
Oh, I love, yeah, see, and I thought I wasn't a squirter, and I literally had to like research it, and I just learned how to squirt over a year ago, and then now I'm like, fuck, now you better just bring, I have squirt blankets, I have it all.
So, Chris, what do you mean? But how did you learn? So I feel like I became a squirter because one of my fuck buddies, I call him Pawn Star on the show, he really
Uh,
taught me to let go, and I feel like that's what really squirting is about is letting yourself
it is.
go completely. And
It is.
yeah. So what do you mean you taught
100%.
yourself how to squirt?
So,
Because I've, yeah.
so right. So I never knew. So I always thought that either you were a squirter or you weren't. I knew like back in the day, one of my friends was a squirter. I was like, I just don't do it. I didn't know about the letting yourself go. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So then we go in the lifestyle and there's all these women squirting. And I'm like, oh my God, I wish I could squirt. And then their husbands are really the ones who are like, oh, my wife used to think she couldn't squirt. And it's all about like letting yourself go. Like you just got to let it release. And they were like, Google it, just look it up. I swear to God. So you Google it. And then my husband also had to Google like where that spot was. And then I Googled it and I was like, oh my God, so if the man is doing this, which now I can make myself even squirt. But and so then the first time I squirted was actually in a situation where this woman was riding my husband and I was riding her husband, and he's the one that taught me really to start Googling it and like, and he literally took my hips while I'm riding him, and it's so hot, right? Like I'm watching
Mm-hmm.
her ride my husband and I'm riding him, fucking
Mm-hmm.
big, huge fucking cock. And he
Mm.
took my hips and like leaned them back, and all of a sudden I just start squirting like crazy. And everybody starts cheering, right? Like it was just us in a hotel room, but she's like, "Oh my God, Krystina's squirting," and I'm like hitting him in the face with it, and it was hilarious. But yeah, it was
God, by the
so
way,
funny.
men love that. Like, oh my God, one of the
Oh,
funniest
they
things
do.
Baywatch ever said on the show is I was like, "What's your favorite thing that I do to you?" And he said, "Squirt in my mouth."
Yeah, 100.
Yeah.
They beg for it.
Yes.
Like,
Oh.
yeah.
All right, so let's play
So
just the
yeah.
tip. Okay, so I say we just go
Yes.
back and forth, kind of how we did with our fantasies. I'll start. So I have a tip for
Okay.
the environment for sex, and I've learned this through the lifestyle. Lighting is key, you know. And
Oh
also,
yeah.
I feel like the lighting really helps with your confidence as well. So if you're self-confident, self-conscious,
Hmm.
I highly recommend a red light. There's something about a red
Yep.
light that hides
There is.
imperfections, makes you look really
Oh yeah.
hot. It just like I don't know how to explain that. It's the red. I guess it's, red light special. They don't call it that for nothing. But so you can get
Yep.
the LED lights that you can get on Amazon. I actually have some linked on my website. Or you can get red light
Uh-huh.
bulbs and change out your light bulbs.
Yep.
And it just sets the mood. So get yourself some red lights.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
thinking of that TLC
100.
song.
Red light special all
Yes.
through the, yeah, that's a good
Yes.
song. And
It
it's
is.
true. It's so funny because at the swinger club that I go to, they have all the lights like that. This is just a club. It's like a bar. It ends at 2:30 in the morning. Everybody's got to leave. And it's so funny because like all the lights are on, and then when they turn them on, it's like, oh shit,
Yeah.
that's what the fuck. Get away from me. No, I'm just kidding. But it does. It makes you so confident.
It
So,
does.
so
So
confident.
red light
Yeah.
bulbs, especially for my ladies. Like, and
Yes.
then he'll think it's really hot, but I swear to God, it makes me a little bit more confident because I'm like, I don't give a fuck, and I
Right.
feel sexy and it looks good. And so yes, a red light bulb or get those
Right.
LED lights and set it to red. I actually
Yep.
installed them on the
100%.
back of my headboard, so it's like that reflected
Uh-huh.
red. Hmm.
Oh, I love that.
Yes,
That is
it's hot.
nice. Yes.
Yes,
It
highly
is
recommend.
100%. Yeah.
Okay, so give me a
Okay, so
tip.
I mean, this is going to sound weird, but vaginal health is very, very important, right? And so many women sometimes do not feel comfortable So get a probiotic if you're a woman. I take salt baths every night because whether you're using toys or whether it's just your husband's sick or whatever, I am telling you, just to have the balanced pH in your vagina, because let's be honest, women, when you're dealing with a bunch of different cocks coming in and out that vagina, whether it's your fingers or a fake cock or your husband's cock, it
Toy,
can
right?
fuck up your pH.
Mm-hmm.
That's my next tip will be about toys. So, but honestly, like, I know that sounds like such a weird tip, but if any of you take anything from what I say, I promise you, like, when your pH is balanced in your vagina, and I've never had issues with it because I do take these steps and drink a lot of water and, take probiotics. But yeah, it's huge.
I'm glad you brought that up. And vaginal health is a really big thing. And not
Yes,
only is it's makes you more comfortable because then you're prone to like UTIs or, oh my God, the dreaded yeast
right,
infection, Jesus. But
right.
also, can we talk
Yeah,
about BV? I had my first
right.
experience with BV earlier this year and I was
Uh-huh.
like, what the fuck is that? And my doctor actually put me on a
Yeah,
probiotic. So great tip. Take care
yeah.
of things going down
Oh,
there.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you could get the really good probiotics in the same aisle that you get like condoms or Vagisil. There's like the probiotic I get, I don't remember the name of it. It's like $30 and you just take it once a day.
Yep.
So yeah. Yep.
Yep. I actually take my gynecologist recommended the Azo brand and
Yep.
it's easy because, and
Yep.
also people think probiotics, you got to put it in the refrigerator and stuff. You don't like, and I just take
No.
one a day
Nope.
and I have been
Yep.
perfectly fine since my little
Oh
stint
yeah.
with BV. Cause I was taking those,
Yep.
what are they called? Like, the pills you like stick up there,
Right.
suppositories. And I'm like, this
Yes.
sucks. I'm like, I'm not doing this shit. And
No.
so
Just take
that
the oral pill.
probiotic, yep, really helped me out. So
Yep.
great tip.
For sure. Yep.
Okay, so my next tip, I love saying just the tip, by the way. It's my thing.
I love that. Right.
Is consistency at the end will get the job done.
Mm-hmm.
I love to say start with variety, end with consistency. And I can't stress that
Mm-hmm.
enough. Actually, my
Mm-hmm.
girlfriends and I were just talking about like, there's sometimes we're just like, I want you to come. Like, I'm ready for you to come. And
Right.
so the
Exactly.
consistency is key. And it's funny because a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people, I feel like men do this most. I'll be like, don't stop. And he's like, what? And I'm like, God damn it.
Right.
Because it's like,
Exactly. No, you just keep fucking going.
yes, keep
Right.
doing what you're doing. That's what that means. And so whether it's
Yep.
consistency with your hand, consistency with your mouth,
Yep.
or consistency in the strokes of fucking in your pussy, that is what gets in
Right.
there.
The hips.
Yep.
Exactly. 100%.
Consistency is key at the end.
100%.
Yes.
It is, especially with like, and I'm going to talk about blowjobs for my next tip, but especially with blowjobs, like I've heard so many women be like, I can't make guys come with my blowjob. Like, okay, so this is my tip.
Okay. Yeah. Get into it, girl.
Consistency, number one, consistency. But when the first 3 inches of the penis are really the most sensitive.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you're doing a blowjob, I'm stroking literally just like the top 4 inches, really. And I'm doing a circular motion, stroking and just sucking and using my tongue to go all around the tip, especially like what we were talking about this earlier, like right behind, the head of the penis.
The frenulum.
And you're just stroking. Right.
Yes.
And so my tip is who gives a fuck what you look like? Because the man does not care what the fuck your face looks all stupid doing that. He does not care. He cares about how it feels.
Mm-hmm.
So don't just lick a dick or try to deep throat. Deep throating is great. I love to be throat fucked. But when it's time to come and my fucking jaw hurts, I love being throat fucked. But like I said, when it's time to come, dude, that circular motion with you jacking off and then licking and sucking, actually sucking and moving your tongue all at the same time.
They don't call it a job for nothing.
I swear. Exactly. And you just stick right there. And I guarantee you, just like most women that I know will say right there, hit it right there, harder, harder. Men do the same thing. Oh yeah, baby, right there, right there. When he starts saying right there, that motherfucker is about to explode. So
yes.
Just keep doing what you're doing.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yes. And I that's actually how I finish all my blowjobs too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Cause it's the money piece, I should call it. Like, that shit is going to get it done.
Yep.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So when your jaw gets tired, here we go.
And also when I talk about, start with the variety, I love to pay attention to the frenulum as well. So that's the underside of the head of the penis, right? And
yes,
I like to
love that.
And I like to play a little game. So here's a tip. You can play a game with your man and say, do you like when my tongue goes back and forth? And then like do back and forth. Or how about up and down? And then move your tongue up and down. And he's going to be like, guys love when you talk sex, dirty shit talk. They love
they
it. So he's going to
do.
be like, what? And then be like, what do you think about
Right.
circles? And then make a small circle on the underside of their head. You got him.
Seriously.
You got him.
100%.
And he's not going to ever forget that. Yes. So the underside of the head is a big thing. Okay, it's your turn again. I feel like we're tag teaming. It's your turn again.
So and I have so many tips, and I did say I was going to give a toy tip, but I think that this one is better. There is something to be said about edging. And now men can edge, and I don't know what it's called when a woman edges, but I don't know if it's called the same thing.
Edging,
but I like to edge. Yeah. That's where you almost get to the point of coming and then you don't come, and then you continue to do that. Some people call it tantra because tantra is very similar. I'm telling you, and I am one of those people that can come 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times during sex. But sometimes I just want to edge, and I'll edge the whole time and then just have one massive orgasm. And I mean, it's like earth shaking.
Wow.
Earth shaking. Yeah. And men, same thing. Yeah.
So when he says don't stop, you'll stop?
Yes. So we have to have this worked out before we go into the sex.
I agree.
We're gonna make this clear that we're gonna edge. Now my ex-husband does not like to edge because sometimes, now he has edged before where he's had that earth-shattering orgasm, but more times than none, and this is unfortunately a problem with having a dick, is he would edge and then it wouldn't work after that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he would edge and his dick was still hard and everything, but then he would edge again and you get to that point. Cause I like to edge like 5 times. Like, feel like I'm going to come up, and that's extreme. Some people only do it 1 or 2 times. But then he wouldn't be able to come at all. And then he's pissed off. Right. So, but with women, I mean, especially with me being so easy to come, like it's just, I love edging. So you guys look it up and try it.
So I have edging on my fantasy list, and but it's funny you're discussing this because I've never done it, but as I feel, is it a prerequisite to be someone that can come quickly? Because I can't come quickly, and I'm going to tell you about something. No. So one time, and I, I'm shameless, so fuck off. I got to do what I got to do. I'm a single mother, and so sometimes I get angry, right? Like, I'm fired up, I'm angry, and I'm like, I have to fucking rub one out right now. So close both my bedroom doors, lock the doors, go into my closet, lock the closet, whatever. And I've been interrupted before, like knock on the door, and it's edged me. And then I try to finish again, and it's like, I call it like, it's not a full orgasm, and then I'm pissed. And then I'm like sweating because I have to come again. And I don't have a high refractory period. I don't think most women do. And I'm trying. And then the vibrator's dying, and I'm like, ah. I actually made a TikTok once where I was like so pissed because all my toys had died. I think I had 2. I had the Rose, and then my little, I call it Captain Morgan. It's a clit sucker. They both died. And so I used the shower head. And at this point, I'm sweating in the shower. And I'm like taking it back to like medieval times. And I'm like, you're holding the fucking shower head. Anyway, so I'm nervous about edging because I feel like I would be frustrated more. So I'm going to add it to my list. I will try it, but.
Right. And you have to have it like set out in your mind that that's exactly what you're going to do, and research a little bit first. Research is always the best for everything. But what I will say is I have a video like that where I was masturbating on OnlyFans once, and all my toys died. In the video, 3 fucking toys died, and you can see. I mean, this is real shit. That's why my fans love my shit. It's not this fake like porn set up fucking bullshit. It's like real shit. All of them died. I'm like, what the fuck? And so now I'm at this point right now in my life where I'm actually haven't used toys for probably the last like 3 months. Yeah. Because sometimes you get so used to that vibration, and I love a good toy. But right now I'm strictly using my fingers. And the other night I used only my fantasies. In my head, I didn't even use porn. Something to be said about that. So that's just my last tip. I know that we were only supposed to give 3, and that's 4.
No, there's no limit here.
Right. So to look into that, because I'm a person, I mean, I could masturbate 3, 4, 5 times a day. But I'm just trying to make it to where I'm not so reliant on the vibration. I know. And then it's just my imagination and my fingers again, like back in the day when I was, first started masturbating. So, but I love toys too. So I'm going to go back to toys real quick, but
So Krystina, I have something to share, and I've never shared this on my show, but you just brought this memory back to me. Okay. So,
I love it.
Oh my God. And like, I'm really putting myself out there right now, but you know what? Fuck it. I don't care. I'm not ashamed. I'm not going to be ashamed. So my
Uh-huh.
ex-boyfriend was just not as sexual as I was. It was something that was a big problem.
Uh-huh.
And okay, oh my God, because I immediately thought
I
about this.
love it.
I had one of the most intense orgasms, and I'm not gonna lie, I did this more than once. So
Uh-huh.
I just wouldn't finish a lot. And there was a point in my
Uh-huh.
relationship where I was like, fuck that, I'm taking matters in my own hands. And I would like use a toy or whatever and I would finish. But there were some times where we would have sex before bed and he would just roll over and go to sleep. And like, I'd be
Yeah.
frustrated, right? And so I'd
Yeah.
wake up at like the middle of the night and I would hear him,
Yeah.
like, I know he's asleep. And I would
Yeah.
rub one out right there, laying next to
Yes,
him. And I had
girl.
nothing
Yeah.
with me. I was just using my
Yep.
imagination and
Yes.
fantasizing in my head. And I would get
Yep.
so fucking wet. And then that would turn me on
Oh
more.
yeah.
And then the staying
Oh
quiet and
yeah.
staying still, Christina, like I remember being like,
Yes,
the
girl.
bed is making, but
Right.
can
And
I
you're
tell you?
breathing. Yeah.
Yes, those
Uh-huh.
orgasms where you're completely fucking silent,
Yes.
best orgasms I've ever had in my entire life. And it's a different orgasm because I
100.
feel like when you're letting out a sound or when you're thrusting
Right.
your hips or when you're moving,
Yep.
this is
Yep.
all internal. You're feeling every single
It is.
fucking muscle. Oh my
Pulse.
God.
Oh, it just
Every, oh,
pulses like a
yes,
fucking heart.
yes,
I'm telling you, I just did that not too long ago with my ex. And I had came during the sex that night, but I wanted more, and he
yeah,
was tired, and he rolled over. He left his cream pie inside of me, and he rolled over and went to sleep, and I was just not done. So I took his cream pie and I rubbed one out silent like that. And it's
yep,
not that he would have got mad if he woke up, but I was like, dude, I'm just fucking horny, and
yes.
it was amazing.
It
It
is.
was.
It's a different level of orgasm. I'm sure there's
Yeah.
many women that are like, I know exactly what she's talking about right now.
Oh,
So,
100%.
yeah. But you just reminded me of
100.
that. And I'm like, oh my God, that was so fucking hot.
Yeah, it is.
All right.
I
Well, that
know.
was a really hot Just the Tip segment. Let me
It
tell you.
was.
Yes.
Your listeners are probably, if they're men, their pants just grew a couple sizes.
I call it going from 6 to 12 real quick.
Oh, yeah, real quick.
Tuck it in your fucking
Oh,
pants.
that's great.
A lot of my listeners
Right,
reach out to me and they're like, Adrian, I can't listen to your show at work. I can't listen to your show at the car
right,
in the car. I can't listen to your show at
right,
home. Where can I fucking listen to your show? I'm like,
right.
I'm sorry, I'm not
Like, I gotta be
sorry.
ready to go masturbate right afterwards. Yeah, exactly. That's
Oh,
great. Oh,
Krystina, listen, I cannot believe, like, thank you so much. This has been an amazing 2-part episodes with you. I've never done
yes.
this before where I've had to extend the episode, but you are absolutely worth it.
I love it.
And
Thank you.
I just want to tell you, it's never my place to judge, and I don't like to be judged with people in this world.
Mhm.
And I appreciate your candor, your openness and everything that you've shared with me on the last episode and today. It really means a lot. And so I've had so much fun with you, and thank you for being here.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. I love you too, and I just love everything you stand for, and I can just feel all the good vibes, and I
Yes.
really can't wait to just come hang out with you
Yeah, and
sometime,
we're gonna
for
we're gonna,
real.
we're gonna have to do this again, I think.
Oh yeah, definitely, 100%.
So listen, tell me again where my listeners can find you.
Okay, so you can find me on TikTok at OG_Krystina, Krystina. You can find me on OnlyFans at TikTok girl _Krystina, Krystina. I have to spell it because my name is
Mm-hmm.
spelled funny. And then you can email me for my Snapchat premium info, or just to reach out to me and say hey. And that is tiktokgirl.Krystina@gmail.com.
Yes. And I'm going to put everything in the show notes too, but I know when they're listening,
Awesome.
like they'll be like, Adrian, you didn't
Yeah.
mention that. And Adrian, you didn't mention this. So.
Right, for sure.
All right, girl. Well, I am going to have some amazing dreams tonight. Wet dreams.
Yay.
Super
Good.
hot
I know, right?
conversation. Yes. And I
Yeah,
can't wait to have
for
you back
sure.
again.
I know. I can't wait too. It'll be great.
All right. I got to go cool off. And I'm actually going to be taking some time off for my birthday, which is this Sunday, August 14th. The big 4-1. No, I am not leaving the country this time, so there is no chance of me getting stuck anywhere this year. Actually, I refuse to fly anywhere this year. I still have PTCD, post-traumatic COVID disorder, from the Bahamas, but I am going to be at the beach, and so there is no chance of me getting stuck anywhere this year. God. But I'm going to be at the beach and enjoying myself, soaking up the sun and some much needed downtime. I will be back on Tuesday, September 6th for my 40th episode. I can't believe it's been 40 episodes. That's fucking insane. Zach is coming back, and I'm going to answer 40 of my most popular questions, to include probably the most popular one, aside from do you have an OnlyFans? Does size really matter? And so much more. So also, don't forget to follow me over on Instagram, because I share what I'm up to all the time over there in my stories. And I've been trying to go live once a week over there, usually on Thursdays, so you can get your fill. God, I wish I was getting filled of me over there on Instagram. I hope you guys have a great rest of the summer. Keep it hot, make it sexy, and do all the things that I would do.